Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sinsheimer Park here in San Luis Obispo, California on a mild 70-degree day. It is a perfect day for baseball as we welcome you to the 75th anniversary of the San Luis Obispo Blues season. The Blues come in 13-5, and they have lost for the first time all season 3 straight games, all in conference. And the Blues, who had a tough road trip, were on the road in Irvine on Tuesday and Wednesday. On Thursday, on the way back up to SLO, played a game in Pasadena against the Arroyo Seco Saints and fell by the score of 5-1. The 3 losses, first a shutout. They were shut out by the Riptide 4-0. Least amount of runs and hits the Blues have had all season. The offense was a bit scared and a bit worried about what happened. Came out, lost 5-2, and the team has slumped as they lost 5-1 last night. But this is a group of guys, a group of high-character guys that if you talk to Coach Bob Miller, are determined to get back in the win column. And today they will have to do it against the Conejo Oaks of Thousand Oaks, our neighbors from the south. 3 hours away, the Oaks made the trip up here today. They come in with a record of 7-4, and they bring a pitching staff that has an ERA of just over 6. Doesn't give up a lot of hits and tends to strike a lot of guys out. The Oaks sit at second place in the CCL South. They are 4-3 in conference. They are coming off of a loss to the Santa Barbara Foresters. Their best 2 wins this season for the Oaks were 1-run victories against the team the Blues lost to last night, the Arroyo Seco Saints. As the starting lineups are introduced for the Blues and Oaks, we can tell you a little bit about the road trip for the Blues. Again, they are now 4th place in the CCL. Blues are 13-5. Oaks are in 2nd place, 7-4 overall, 4-3 in conference play. The numbers, well, as we mentioned, they were shut out for the first time on Tuesday with a season-low 3 hits. That unfortunately snowballed and set the tone for what would end up being a tough stretch of games for the Blues. Bullpen would struggle, and hitting would press, and they're looking to get back on track today. That with a new lineup, some new characters, some new players that have joined us from Stanford, and it's now a new lineup for the Blues. First we've seen of it this season, as it's introduced over the PA system. I'll be bringing that to you in just a moment.
Starting pitcher for tonight's contest, number 44, the right-hander from USC, Kyle Wish. The Blues are led by Bob Miller, assisted by Dean Trainer, Steve Colley, and Casey Pelt, the head athletic trainer for the Blues.
So we are just about ready for baseball here. It is the Blues and the Oaks, and we will have first pitch in a matter of moments. But before that, I will step aside and be right back with you after this rendition of our national anthem.
And all of those who lost their lives serving and protecting our community. Stand and observe a moment of silence. Thank you. Today's national anthem is being performed by Ashley Brown. Ashley will be participating in the Central Coast Follies the second weekend in October. All proceeds will go to aid in the fight against Alzheimer's. This time we ask that you remain standing and please remove your hats. Ms. Brown.
that, we welcome you to Game 19 of the San Luis Obispo Blues 75th anniversary season. Today, the opponents from the south, the Conejo Oaks, will look to continue the Blues struggles. Blues looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. Oaks coming off of a loss themselves. We'll see what gives in this matchup between two teams from the south. Conference play continues this week for the Blues, and it will not end. They've gotten the majority of non-conference games out of the way. It is all business the rest of the way for the Blues, coming in 3-3 in conference, and those 3 losses they've lost consecutively now, and they're looking to get back on track with new starter today. New starter meaning first time we've seen him start, and it'll be the right-hander out of USC, Kyle Wish, starting in place of Austin Teixeira, who is set to go today, but the lefty Teixeira dealing with an injury, and Wish steps in for him, and he's been an extremely reliable reliever for head coach Bob Miller and the Blues pitching staff. ERA of under 1.9, the ERA for Kyle Wish, in 10 full innings pitched, 7 Ks, 2 walks on 6 hits. Kyle went the longest he's gone all season in a 3-inning performance against the Humboldt Crabs. That would be a win for the Blues in walk-off fashion. They would win 5-4. So Kyle hasn't pitched since Saturday, hasn't pitched in almost a week, and he's gotten that standard amount of rest that a starter would get. Stands 6'4", 227, again out of USC, hometown of Clarendon Hills, Illinois. It'll be Wish on the mound for the Blues, facing a Oaks lineup that goes like this. Leading off, Zach Gregory, and playing second base, followed by TJ Foreman, the right fielder. Brendan Bobo, he's the bat to look out for in this lineup. He'll play first base, followed by Grant Smith, the third baseman. Reagan Burford, DH. Robbie Sandoval, center fielder. JT Nabiak, shortstop. Caden Suji doing the catching and batting eighth, and rounding it out is Austin Carrillo, the left fielder, who will bat ninth.
Leading on for the Conejo Oaks.
Just about set for baseball here in San Luis Obispo, and we're happy to have you along with us. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ebrahim. Game 19 of this season that continues to fly by, and the Blues come in 13-5, 3 losses in a row. The team is happy to be home, and it's Wish facing Gregory, and the first pitch from Wish is outside for ball 1. Second pitch from Wish to Gregory. That one's away, ball 2. Wish, 2-seamer that features some sinking action, a put-away slider, changeup, and a curveball. 2-0 as Gregory's quickly ahead. He'll pop one up. Infield will have a look. It's Cermak out in center, making the catch for the first out.
Right there for Zach Gregory. We've seen you have bats this season from Gregory.
Quick out for Kyle.
Most of it's at bats right there. So 2 straight balls.
Here's TJ Foreman now, the right fielder, and he'll step in and face Kyle Wish. So first time we've seen Wish starting this year, and obviously coming in prepared. 6 days of rest for Kyle, and just coming off of a performance that saw him go the longest he's gone all year, 3 innings. And of course, the ERA under 1 delivers strike 1 to Foreman. And for Wish, he pitched against the Saints back on the 23rd as he delivers a 2-seamer in there for strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes to Foreman. There's 1 out as we're in the top of the first here at Sinsheimer Park. Anyway, that's when Kyle gave up his first run and only run this season, was back on the 23rd against the Arroyo Seco Saints. That one's fouled back by Foreman, and it's no balls and 2 strikes as he's quickly ahead on the right fielder. One out, top of the first, no score. As Wish looks to put away Foreman. Time is called momentarily. TJ with the average at 273 coming into today. Tied for third with 12 hits as Wish delivers ball 1 to him. Now 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. A Blues offense that has put up 3 runs in 3 games as that breaking pitch dips a little bit too inside, and it'll actually hit Foreman. So he will take first base after being hit by a pitch, and it's the first base runner of the day for the Oaks.
Right there for Wish, the pitcher. Let one go. Going up 0-2. 3 straight strikes.
So now Wish will face Brendan Bobo, and this is the man that you have to watch for in this Oaks lineup. 4 homers on the season. He's got 4 homers and 1 double. He homered yesterday in a loss to Santa Barbara. He was their only offense in that one, but leads the team in home runs with 4. The team as a whole only has 6, and he's got 4 of them. Wish deals ball 1 to Bobo, the first baseman, batting third. Bats with 1 out and 1 on in a 1-ball count against Kyle Wish. Runner taking off for second, and gunning there is AJ Esperanza, who's doing the catching today, and it'll be a stolen base for Foreman.
You mentioned that home run yesterday from Bobo.
So after being hit by a pitch, Foreman was safe at first, and now steals second.
All teams in both the South and the North.
For TJ, that is his second stolen base this season, and he now is in scoring position for Bobo, who's still at the plate in a 2-ball count against Kyle Wish. 2-0 is low for ball 3, so Wish quickly behind here.
No, I do not.
This is an offense for the Oaks, 277 average. They average about 8 runs per game and just over 9 hits. Not very prone to the extra base hit and the 6 homers. The man at the plate right now is responsible for 4. Pops one up as he just missed one. Coming on is Austin Kretschmar, playing second base and getting his first start as a Blue. He just got here. We'll get to Kretschmar when he's up to bat, but just got to the Blues, and a new face makes the catch at second for the second out. Quickly 2 outs now as we're still in the top of the first, and that'll bring Grant Smith to the plate, who's manning the hot corner. He'll now bat with Foreman at second after being hit by a pitch and stealing second. So for Smith, the average at 289, he'll be trying to add to his RBI total on this season that stands at 6. First pitch from Wish. Breaking ball that falls in there for strike 1, and Kyle's gotten ahead on the off-speed. So Wish, who did not pitch in this most recent road trip for the Blues, team that's happy to be home as they've lost 3 straight, all on the road. It'll be an offense looking to give. We'll see how long Wish goes, but this technically will be a bullpen game with the starter Austin Teixeira out. The ball is in 1 strike the count. Wish deals to Grant Smith. Breaking pitch falls in there for strike 2. Same pitch, same place. And Kyle is a strike away from getting out of this inning and stranding a runner at second base. Kyle been one of the more reliable relievers for the Blues. You could argue he's been the best. He's been put in some tough spots. That one's popped up again. Infield will have a look. It's Austin Schell who's playing first base today, giving it a look as it drifts out of bounds.
Nice catch on the first bounce, young man.
It's the second souvenir of the day. Again, 2 out, 1 man on second, and still no score as we are just underway here at Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo. Temperatures at 70 degrees at first pitch. It's about the coolest it's been for a home game here in quite some time, maybe all year. First pitch being thrown at 6:05. And Kyle Wish trying to get out of this top of the first scoreless, stranding a runner at second base after he hit him. And he stole second. No balls, 2 strikes. Wish checks second twice. Runner taking off for third. He'll gun there. Let's say he's safe. Wish was staring him down, and Foreman chose to run. It's almost like Kyle couldn't believe he was running to third. They'll say he was safe. So Foreman has his second stolen base of the inning. He steals third after he looked to be caught and would be in a pickle, but he's safe there now. 0-2 is grounded to Samuelson at third. He'll gun to first in time for the out. It's all for naught, but what a strange top of the first in which Wish did not give up a hit, did not give a run, and the only base runner reached after being hit by a pitch. Stole 2 bases, but all for naught. Runner stranded at third for the Oaks, and that'll bring us to the bottom of the first now. And the Blues bats, who we'll get to it in a moment, are really looking to get back on track. First, we'll get to the starter for the Oaks today. Cody Adcock, freshman at Ole Miss, hometown of Texarkana, Kansas. He'll come in. This is just his second start. ERA at 3.6. 5 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, 2 base on balls, 4 walks. Fastball for Cody that tops out at 96 miles per hour, also featuring a nasty slider and changeup. Got a chance to talk to Cody before this one, and, well, let's just say he's confident. This is a guy who's had one good start under his belt. The ERA a bit higher than he would like. He's trying to get that to sub-3, but in his second start, he will be looking to shut down the Blues bats, and that's been a trend. We'll get to the offensive woes for the Blues. In 3 games, the 3 straight losses, they're batting .191. They had 1 extra base hit in 3 games. That was a 2-run homer by Grant Burton. That would be their only offense in a 5-2 loss against the Riptide. They've struck out 26 times in the 3 games. In yesterday's ballgame, Matt Sox threw 1 bad pitch and got the loss. That 1 bad pitch was a solo homer that led off the game. Sox would go on to strike out 10, go 5 full, but unfortunately, the bullpen and the hitting unable to back Matt up. Bullpen did struggle for the Blues. 9 of the 14 runs given up to opponents were in the 5th inning or later, and amazingly, in 3 games, the Blues led for an inning. So it was a tough stretch for the Blues bats. We're in the bottom of the first now, and here's this brand new lineup. First we've seen of it. Ryan Cermak leads things off and plays center field. He didn't play yesterday. Cermak had the day off. He's in a bit of a slump. We'll detail that in a moment. Followed by Mason Grotto, the left fielder. Austin Shell bats third and plays first base. Vincent Martinez, who just got here from Stanford, he'll DH. Tate Samuelson, of course, playing third. AJ Esperanza doing the catching. Also from Stanford, Austin Kretschmar, second baseman, will bat seventh. Nick Costello in right, and Ruben Mercado at short. It's Adcock versus Cermak, his first time leading off this season, and Cody deals him a fastball a bit inside, and Cermak takes it for ball 1. For Ryan, the average is at 293, but as of late, he has struggled. 15 RBIs on the season, but he hasn't had an RBI in 4 games. 1-0 to him, swung on and lifted high and deep to left, and it's actually off one of the light posts. Count even at 1-1. Cermak is 0 for his last 8. He's 2 for his last 16. In those 16 at-bats, he struck out 9 times. So this coaching staff decides to give Ryan the day off yesterday, have him fresh for this one, and they'll bat him leadoff where he can get a good amount of at-bats. 1-1 to Cermak is taken for strike 2.
Hey, folks, when you're good and hungry, there's 2 lines.
No outs and no score. We're in the bottom of the first. It's Cody Adcock, the starter for the Conejo Oaks, who come in 7-4 against the Reeling Blues, who have dropped 3 straight and are looking to get back on track. 1-2 to Cermak. High and outside as Adcock dialed up the 96-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitting Ryan Cermak out of Illinois State. Two to Cermak. Breaking pitch, swung and missed for strike 3. And that's what Ryan has struggled with. Now 10 strikeouts in his last 17 at-bats. And Ryan will be looking to get back on track today. Blues certainly need his big bat, and they've needed this guy, and they've gotten him. Mason Grotto, who incredibly still leads the CCL in batting average at .433. He's second in the CCL in RBIs with 22. He'll bat with the bases empty and 1 out in the bottom of the first. Grotto has gotten a base hit in every game that he started. Today he'll play left field, one of 5 defensive positions we've seen him play. Yesterday, he DH'd and got the day off defensively. Said he liked that. Check swing, and they'll say it was strike 1 anyway. Grotto telling me that as much as he doesn't mind playing second base or playing left field or anywhere Coach Miller needs him to, it was good for him to kind of have the day off from defense and just focus on hitting, which he obviously has done so well to lead the Blues in almost every offensive category. quickly behind 0-2 against Adcock, and he'll stand in and await the third pitch. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Grotto. There's no one on and 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first, no score. Check swing, and they'll say he did not go around. So he'll hold up, and it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Grotto. At Fresno State, teammate of Vinny Bologna's there. Bologna not getting the start today. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Grotto. Fouls that one back, and he'll stay alive as he reached out on an off-speed pitch. They have been expecting the fast. Today they went 6 for 32, and on Thursday they went 9 for 32. So the numbers were getting better, but it somehow reached a low yesterday in terms of morale as they still fell 5-1. Called strike 3, and Adcock gets Grotto. So he has sat down on strikes, and that'll bring us now to Austin Shell, who's playing first base today, and he's coming off of a game in which he went 4 for 4 with 4 singles and brought in the only run of the game for the Blues as they fell 5-1. So quickly 2 outs as Shell bats with no one on and 2 out. First pitch from Adcock to Austin is swung on and missed for strike 1. The reason I say it may have been a low after last night's ball game was the Blues got on base 14 times and scored 1 run. That was in the 8th, and that was Shell's RBI single. Here's the 0-1 from Adcock to Shell. Swung on and missed for strike 2. In total, the Blues in the 3 games got on base 29 times. And in 3 games, they scored 3 runs. Just very odd. And Coach Miller telling me earlier today that the team just has not looked like themselves. They're not playing with confidence. They're not playing with swagger. And he wants them to be aggressive, but not to a fault. And the reason he says not to a fault was they were aggressive yesterday, especially on the base paths, but to a fault. Men being tagged out at second, trying to turn singles into doubles. They'll be the first to tell you. They were just looking to get in scoring position. Fastball high from Adcock. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Grotto specifically thought he could turn a single into a double yesterday. Was tagged out at second and talked to Grotto on the way back home, and he was just kicking himself. He knew that he had kind of killed a rally, killed some momentum with the out. 1 and 2 dips low. It's now 2 and 2 to Shell. So these guys know where they've messed up. They know they're swinging and missing through pitches that they usually would either barrel up or take for balls. And it's just been a strange 3 games. You talk to the guys, they're not down on themselves. They're not discouraged. They're just looking to bounce back. 2-2 dips low, and the count's full now. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Austin Shell. 2 outs, no one on. We're in the bottom of the first. Still no score.
You saw with Wishing last and went up 0-2 to Foreman, ended up hitting him, lost that batter. Here it's important for Adcock to come back into the zone, but not too far.
Payoff pitch. In there, strike 3 called, and Adcock strikes out the side. Blues go down 1-2-3, and we will head now to the top of the second. Strikes out Cermak swinging, and strikes out Grotto and Shell looking. Cody Adcock looks sharp here to start, and it's Kyle Wish trying to match that as he'll be on the mound to start his second inning of relief. Still no score here at Sinsheimer. We're going to take a short break and be right back with you on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out, making us a part of your Friday evening. as we welcome you back to Sinsheimer Park in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. You're at the top of the second, and it'll be Reagan Burford to lead things off. He's DHing today, and he'll take ball one from Wish. That one's in there for strike two. Wish gets the count back to even at 1-1. So Kyle again getting his first start today in place of Austin Teixeira, who we would usually see starting on a Friday. Austin telling me it's nothing major, as that one swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Just needs some extra rest just to get comfortable for the next time he gets out on the mound. So Wish fills in for him and gets the start today and has Burford in a 1-2 count. No outs, top of the second, no score. Here's that 1-2 from Wish to Burford. Hit to Mercado at short. Spinning throw, bouncing and being caught by Shell at first. He got him. And Mercado continues to show off the hands and the overall fielding ability that is just so fun to watch. Anytime Ruben gets the start and he's manning short, anytime there's a ground ball hit to him, you know what he's going to do. He's going to do something special. And he makes the spinning throw onto first. And Shell able to dig it out of the dirt. And that's one away now for Ravi Sandoval, who takes strike one. Left side of that infield is so fun to watch, especially when it's Mercado and Samuelson. It's Kretschmar and Shell, two guys we usually don't see playing second and first. We usually see Shell catching or DHing. He'll man first today in place of TJ Clarkson and Austin Kretschmar, who just got here from Stanford. He'll play second. 0-2. Curveball dips low for ball one. Sandoval foul tips that one to stay alive. It's 1-2. Ravi struggling a bit in his now 15 at-bats. The average below 150. It sits at 143 coming into today. Blues pitching, who from their starters specifically has been solid. We mentioned that the bullpen, opposing hitters got to the bullpen a bit. 9 of the 14 runs given up by two opponents were in the fifth or later. So that's when the starters were out. As that's swung on and missed for strike three. And it's a quick second out and the first strikeout for Wish. Quickly 2 away for JT Naviak, who is the shortstop today. No score as we enter now we're in the bottom of the second, That pitch is high, ball one.
This is number 3, the shortstop.
Naviak, the average at 243. One ball, no strikes. Wish deals. Eats Samuelson up a bit at third, but he'll gun to first in time. Left side of that infield making some awesome plays, and they help Kyle Wish get through a 1-2-3 inning. There's still no score as we will head now to the bottom of the second, and the Blues backs. We'll see how Cody Adcock, what he has for us as an encore to that first inning, striking out the side. Blues bats will have something to say about that.
Or some of that great chowder of Red Bull, 1485, 1488.
So after Cermak, Grotto, and Shell all strike out, it'll be the first at-bat of the season for Vincent Martinez, who's doing the DHing today. Martinez, who got here from Stanford, has been playing in the college baseball playoff. And Martinez just got here, senior at Stanford, hometown of Escondido, California, went to San Marcos High School. We can see him catching this year. We can certainly see that. We'll see him DH as AJ Esperanza, who did not start in the series in Irvine, but was playing close to home, of course, from Orange, California, AJ is. And he'll start at catcher today. Esperanza doing the catching as Martinez DHs. It'll be Martinez to lead things off for the Blues, who welcome some new faces to a lineup that is struggling, and some new faces that could certainly stop the struggles and help contribute to a Blues offense that, other than this 3-game set on the road, has been out of this world. And they're looking to get back on track against Adcock. Cody Adcock, a freshman at Ole Miss who looks really sharp to start. This is just his second start. Again, talked to Cody before this one, was really confident. Every Oak saying, only one of our losses has been a bit of a blowout, lost 12-3 to the Saints. And other than that, they've been in close ball games. They are coming off of a 6-2 loss against the Foresters. But again, 2 really close and good wins against the Arroyo Seco Saints. Blues fell to them last night by a score of 5-1. Back on the 23rd, they beat them by a score of 5-1. Adcock delivers strike 1 to Vince Martinez. No balls, 1 strike. We are in the bottom of the second. Blues offense that has gotten 3 more hits every game they've played this week. Strike 2. But it has not resulted in any runs. There were 2 critical infield errors in the 7th of the game against the Saints that could have been 2 outs and possibly limited the damage in that inning. It would end up being a 4-run inning for the Saints. Here's 0-2 to Martinez. Lined up into center, and Martinez starts his Blues season off with a base hit, and it's a single for Vince Martinez. He's batting 1,000. Here comes Tate Samuelson, who, of course, has been very reliable for the Blues all season. He's made some great plays at third base for Coach Bob Miller, who's at third base right now and just gave Tate a sign. Coach Miller just said, look, I want us to be aggressive, but smartly aggressive, and we need to pick our spots. We need to pick our pitches to throw at, and our pitches to take. Samuelson taking ball 1 gets another sign from Coach Miller at third. It's Martinez at first. He singled. And Samuelson at the plate in a 1-ball and no strike count versus Adcock, who just gave up his first base and has his first base runner. That was popped up. And in center, making the catch is Ravi Sandoval.
Now for the Blues,
Samuelson starts his day 0 for 1 with a fly out to center, but here's AJ Esperanza. AJ just a good dude. We had him on the post-game show last Saturday, almost a week ago, as time continues to fly. Fouls 1 straight back. It'll be 0-1, but AJ, of course, joining us on the post-game show after he hit a walk-off single. First walk-off AJ has ever hit at any level in any game, playing baseball his whole life, doing the catching today. And it's just a joy to talk to. Talked to him a couple times on the road trip. And he shared the same sentiment as the rest of these guys had after 3 straight losses. It felt weird. No balls and 1 strike to Esperanza. Time called. I mean, seriously, I'm talking to everyone individually, and they're all saying, this is very weird. This is an odd feeling. We've had so much success early on. It felt weird just to lose back-to-back games, let alone 3 straight. And as Esperanza takes ball 1, they're just saying, look, I mean, we are, first off, excited to come home. We may have gotten home late last night. Team got in around 1:30 back to San Luis Obispo after stopping at In-N-Out in Thousand Oaks. We'll be in Thousand Oaks on the 4th of July, 1 p.m. first pitch. You better be there. 1-1. Esperanza takes ball 2. So these teams will meet again on Sunday. This is the first matchup between these 2 teams, the Blues and the Oaks. In an ever-important CCL Southern Conference matchup, the Blues have lost 3 straight in conference. The Oaks sit at second place in the South. It's a big game for both. Blues have slipped all the way down to fourth. This is a team that, when they were 3-0 in the South, were sitting at the top behind the Foresters. Now it's the Foresters at the top, and the Oaks at 4-3 in conference, entrenched at second. 3 balls and 1 strike to Esperanza. In AJ's last start, the game he hit the walk-off in, could not have had better at-bats. Walked in his first 2, sac fly and an RBI in his third, double in his fourth, and a walk-off single in his fifth. Esperanza takes ball 4 and takes first base with a walk. Blues have the first 2 on here. It's Martinez at second. He singled to lead off the inning after Samuelson flies out to center. Esperanza takes first on a walk. And here's the first at-bat for Austin Kretschmar. Another junior out of Stanford, hometown of La Mesa. First at-bat for Kretschmar. We've seen him make a play at second. He'll await the first pitch from Adcock, and it's taken for ball 1. Runners on first and second for Austin Kretschmar. There's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the second, no score. Adcock delivers ball 2 quickly to the junior out of Stanford. Good to see these guys get here when the Blues need them, especially after a 3-game losing streak. And everyone on the road trip was saying, when we get home, we're going to get, they call them the Stanford guys. We're going to get the Stanford guys in 2-0. Kretschmar, swinging bunt. I'll say it's a foul ball. But that was always the way they put it, is we're going to get the Stanford guys. Well, they're here. They've gotten the Stanford guys, quote unquote. Vince Martinez already with a single, and Kretschmar and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Runners on first and second for the Blues. Again, in 3 games, the Blues got on base 29 times. They scored 3 runs. It's just mind-boggling. And everyone will tell you the same thing. And everyone was asking me, when we got back here, was it the pitching? And a lot of the guys said, look, we hit some starters that, as Adcock feathers in a changeup for strike 2, we didn't hit off some starters that we know we could barrel up. And then their relievers would come in, and he said the Riptide, they had excellent relievers. He said the Saints yesterday, good relievers. 2-2 the count to Kretschmar. Hit to third, 1 hopper, and now they'll try for 2. And they'll get it. They'll go 5-4-3 on the double play. And that ends the inning. So after the Blues get men on first and second, Kretschmar grounds 1 to Smith at third. Smith tosses to Gregory. Gregory tosses to Bobo. And it's a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. We'll head to the top of the third. Still no score. And Kyle Wish set to start his 3rd inning of relief. If he's able to get through it, it'll tie him for his longest outing of the year. And we'll see if he goes even longer than that. No score at Sinsheimer. Blues and Oaks. It's an important game for both teams. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you for the top of the third here on the Blue Streaming Network. I'm Zach Ebrahim, and hope you're having a good Friday evening. Thanks for joining us, and thank you, as always, for hanging out. We're in the top of the third. We're at Sinsheimer Park in a 0-0 ball game. Kyle Wish set to start his third inning. Facing Caden Suji, doing the catching today for the Oaks. Suji with the average at 286. Leading off the top of the third. 0-1. Suji takes in the dirt ball two. Ball one, excuse me. 1-1 the count. Have not seen Kyle Wish in 6 days. Of course, made the trip with the team, but did not pitch. Ball two. And possibly knowing during the road trip, I did not, that he would get the start today. And coming to the ballpark, excited to learn that Kyle was going to get a chance to start and show what he's got. He's got Suji in a 2-ball, 1-strike count. No outs, no one on. Top of the third. That one's in for strike two. It's been fun watching Wish come in high-stress situations where there's runners on and he's got to get out of a jam. Of course, he hasn't been in many, especially starting an inning, because he's been that good. And the only run he's given up this season against Arroyo Seco Saints is that one's fouled straight back. Count is still 2-2. Only run he's given up, he gave up back-to-back doubles to the Saints late in that ball game, but it would be the only run they scored. Final would be 5-1. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Suji. Check swing, and they'll say he went around. It's strike 3 called, and Wish has his second strikeout. Kyle, of course, one of 3 players on the Blue Squad from Illinois. It's him, Ryan Cermak, and Kate Walker.
Left fielder Austin Correa.
Here is Austin Carrillo. Left fielder in the 9-hole today. Average at 321 for Carrillo. Lay down a bunt. Wish is on it. Tosses to first. Man, he threw it there, and he threw it off the back of Carrillo. Looked like it would have been a situation where Wish would toss to first. Instead, he gunned it there, and it was off the back of Carrillo. He'll be safe. And Wish was in an awkward position fielding that one. His momentum took him on the first baseline, which was exactly the line that Carrillo was running on, obviously, and decided to throw a fastball to shell it first, and it ends up hitting Carrillo in the back, so he'll be safe with an infield single. First hit Wish has given up. Second base runner he's faced. We'll work our way back to the top of the order, and Zach Gregory, who bats with 1 on and 1 out in the top of the third. Here's the first pitch from Wish. Outside part of the plate, ball 1. One ball and no strikes to Zach Gregory, who's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. Wish will gun to first, but Carrillo is safe. One ball and no strikes. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Wish has gone to the slider on back-to-back pitches to open up the at-bat. He's pitching the outside part of the plate. It has not induced a swing or a call from our home plate umpire tonight. 2-0 in the dirt, and it's 3-0. Wish has only walked 2 on the season, on the doorstep of a third. If he can't deliver a strike to Zach Gregory. Another capacity crowd at Sinsheimer, man. This place is packed. Strike one called. It's 3-1 now. One of the fun things we do here is all the interns get the chance to guess the attendance. I don't know what I'm going to guess, but it's going to be a lot. Packed house, 3-1. Runner on first is Austin Carrillo. Fouled straight back, and Wish has worked the count full. After being behind 3-0, he's gotten 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Gregory.
He's gotten ahead with 3 balls, but then has gone back in the count. The game against the Academy just 2 days ago, he saw 3 full counts.
Gregory with a 2.11 average. He has walked 9 times this season. That leads the Oaks. Payoff pitch from Wish. In there! Strike 3 called, and he got him. Gregory can't believe it. He'll shrug his shoulders and say, I don't know about that one. Instead, it's a K for Wish and the second out of the inning.
Hopefully, umpire, he was not going to let Zach Gregory look at 6 consecutive pitches without a break.
TJ Foreman.
So Gregory now 0 for 2 with a fly out to center and a strikeout. Looking, it's the 3rd strikeout for Wish. It's now an even 10 for him on the season, and he'll face TJ Foreman, who was the first base runner of the day for the Oaks after he was grazed by a pitch and took first. Wish is checking on first as he throws over to check on Austin Carrillo. Keeps him honest. We're in the top of the 3rd. There's no score between the San Luis Obispo Blues and the Conejo Oaks of Thousand Oaks, our neighbors from the south. Swinging bunt, that's foul. 0-1 the count. Blues will head to Thousand Oaks and play on the 4th of July, this coming Sunday, 1 p.m. first pitch. I'll have it here for you on the Blues streaming network. Really looking forward to that one. Looking forward to tomorrow's ball game. GM and owner Adam Stowe informing everyone that busiest day of the year is tomorrow. Day before the 4th of July. It'll be the 2nd fireworks night here at Sinsheimer. And if you joined us for the first one, you know how good the show was. You want to join us for the second one that promises to be even better. It's the day before Independence Day. 0-2 is the count to TJ Foreman as Wish has worked it in his favor. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 out. We're in the top of the 3rd. Carrillo is still on at first. And Wish a strike away from matching his longest outing this season to date. Here's the 0-2. Fouled off to the left side now. And Foreman has stayed alive and has not taken a pitch.
And I'm surprised that Carrillo hasn't jumped over to second base yet. Austin Carrillo and faster numbers of the Oaks, someone who definitely can steal bases. Mark Fitzgerald, the third base coach, he just has not sent to the plate.
0-2, still the count to Foreman. Righty on righty as Wish looks in and deals. He'll stay alive again. Still 0-2. This is becoming a battle now, but Wish hasn't thrown a ball.
Going outside, it broke down towards the dirt and further off the plate. TJ Foreman went out.
It's Carrillo still safe at first. He singled. First official hit of the day for the Oaks. Both teams have won. Another 0-2. Runner takes off for second. Swung on and missed strike 3. Well, he got him. And a bit surprised Carrillo did not take off for second earlier. It's a strikeout for Wish. His 4th of the day, and he has matched his longest outing, going 3 full, and has held the Oaks scoreless. We're going to head to the bottom of the 3rd here at Sinsheimer Park. No score, and the Blues bat still trying to get on track. And while we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues, Via Automotive. They've been with us since 1946. That's all 75 years of the Blues' existence. If you are in need of any automotive repairs in the San Luis Obispo area, check out our friends at Via Automotive, where their slogan is, "Our family taking care of your family." And it'll be Cody Adcock set to start his third inning of work. And he'll be up against a Blues offense that is still sputtering and still trying to find their way here in CCL Southern Conference play. We'll see if they can take the lead for the first time this ball game. When we come back, I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you for the bottom of the third here on the Blue Streaming Network. Thanks for hanging out. Here's Nick Costello. We haven't seen Costello start in a couple games. He'll get it and take ball one. Costello getting the start in right field. He bats eighth today. He'll be followed by Ruben Mercado, who's already made a highlight play at short. What's new? 1 ball and no strikes to Costello. Now the count is even at 1-1. So Adcock, he had a first inning in which he struck out the side. And you could argue he struck out the Blues' 3 best hitters. Then gave up a single to Martinez and worked around a walk. Swung on and missed by Costello. It's 1-2. Nick was a really good basketball player in high school and went to Dublin High School and played against talent that is going to be in the NBA. He played against the Mobley brothers out of Rancho Christian. Told me about his matchups with them. Swung on and missed strike 3. Not necessarily him guarding them, he told me, but he was on the floor with them. Nick strikes out on 4 pitches, and that'll bring Mercado to the plate. He'll bat with 1 on, 1 out, and no 1 on in the bottom of the third.
The number 9 batter in the lineup for the Blues, the shortstop. San Jose State, Ruben Mercado.
Ruben's a fan favorite. He's a favorite of mine. Great guy to talk to. A lot of insight on this ball club, especially from a guy who might not start every game. Take strike 1 from Adcock. Mercado got the chance to lead off in Wednesday's ball game against Orange County, and I asked him, because I ask all these guys, because the leadoff spot has been now it's been a carousel of guys that have been inserted into the leadoff spot as Coach Miller is trying to get this offense going. And Mercado swings and misses through that one. It's 0-2. He's tried Mercado. He's tried Fenn. He's tried Cermak. He's tried Craig Miles, Connor Costeca. 5 different guys have been put in the leadoff spot as Ruben fouls one back to stay alive. Count still 0-2. Mercado and Costeca were the 2 guys that led off in these last 3 games on the road. They went a combined 2 for 13. Costeca started in 2 of those 3. 0-2. Swung on and missed strike 3. Digging it out of the dirt. And now throwing is Suji on to first to complete the strikeout. And there's 2 away. So we'll work our way back to the top of this Blues lineup. And the newest man to be inserted into that light leadoff spot is Ryan Cermak. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Cermak still trying to get back on track. He's now 0 for his last 9. His coaching staff was talking to Cermak about when you're in a slump, BP means that much more, meaning take it seriously. Not that Ryan wasn't. Swinging bunt here is hit back to Adcock. It eats him up a bit. He'll gun to first. Not in time. Cermak is safe. That's a single. Cermak gets a hit. Shuts me right up. Cermak. Good to see Ryan just getting on base because that's going to open things up for him. Maybe he singles and steals a base or two. That's a guy whose confidence will not waver for long. Conversation on the mound now with Cody Adcock, who the longest he's gone this season is 5 full innings. Told me, again, very confident guy, if the pitch count's low, he will what's the word I'm looking for? He'll try to go for 6 full innings. At least that's what he told me. Manager Dave Solis probably has some different thoughts in mind. Dave's been with the Oaks now for 15 seasons. Popped up by Grotto. Infield will have a look, but there will be no play. It'll be a souvenir, and it lands nicely in the grass between fans. Third souvenir of the day. Grotto is in an 0-1 count with Cermak on first. Those two, well, they're used to backing each other up in the lineup. And I think that's what's interesting is usually it's been Grotto hitting before Cermak. It's part of the reason that Cermak has a lot of his RBIs is Grotto just gets on base. That's all he does. And Cermak's been able to drive him in on a number of occasions. Here's Cermak taking off for second. Throw in there is not in time. Cermak has a stolen base. Grotto did swing and miss through the pitch. He's behind 0-2. There's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the third. Still no score, but a runner in scoring position for the man who is second in the league in RBIs. But Adcock has him where he wants him. No balls and 2 strikes. He'll check second and now deal. Swung on and missed strike 3 by Grotto. That'll end it quickly. It is the rare 3-pitch at-bat and a strikeout of Mason Grotto. Cermak is stranded at second, but he did single and steal a base. We'll see if that gets him going. This offense, though, is still looking to get going. It's Kyle Wish trying to keep us scoreless. He'll go out and try for his longest outing of the year. We'll be back with you for the top of the 4th. You're on the Blue Streaming Network. I'm Zach Ebrahim, and I hope you're enjoying this one as much as I am. Here is Brendan Bobo swinging and missing through the first pitch from Wish. We're in the top of the 4th. There's still no score. And our guy, statistician Max Lober, who's also working the scoreboard today, and he does an excellent job of that. But Max comes over to me and he says, you know how weird this stretch of games has been for the Blues? I said, how weird? Tell me. He goes, Grotto just struck out in back-to-back at-bats for the first time all year. And that one was on 3 pitches. And, I mean, that just goes to show you. Here's a 1-1. Bobo takes ball 2. That's crazy. I mean, Grotto's just the on-base king in the CCL. And he strikes out. Everyone's human. Just after the start the Blues have had, struggles can be a bit weird. Bobo grounds this one to Kretschmar at second, and he'll toss to first. 1 out. So Bobo's 0 for 2. Here's Grant Smith, the third baseman, grounded out to third in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1 today. Bats with 1 out and no one on. We're in the top of the fourth, still scoreless, and we've said that a lot lately. Blues have not scored early. Their opponents have. In the 3 games on the road, say it again, they led for an inning. First pitch popped up and out of play. It's the 4th souvenir of the day. No balls and 1 strike to Grant Smith. Smith with the average of 289. Swings and misses now behind 0-2. So Smith he strikes out the second most on the team. But this is a team that doesn't strike out too much. On the doorstep of a 10th strikeout this season. 0-2. Inside and high. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Smith. There's no one on and there's 1 out. We're in the top of the 4th and there's no score. We know the Blues have played close games this season. Their last 6 games have been really close. Swung on and missed strike 3. And he'll set Smith down on strikes. Strikeout number 5 for Kyle, giving him 12 on the year. And there's 2 away. Wish is certainly looking like a guy who has no problem starting. He has gotten through 3 2/3. It's the longest he's gone all year. And here's the first pitch to Reagan Burford, who swings and misses for strike 1. Burford, a guy who is a freshman at Ole Miss. So he's a teammate of Cody Adcock, who started today for the Blues. In their first game against the MLB Academy Barons, that's in there for strike 2, Burford hit for the cycle and, as I'm told, did it quite easily. So Burford, a guy who can do it all. He's got power. One of 3 Oaks to have homered, and that's what completed the cycle for him. 0-2 from Wish is popped up, and the infield will have a look, but it's out of play. So he's DHing today. All he's got to worry about is hitting. He's 0 for 1 so far, and he's grounded out to Mercado, who made a highlight play at short. And is behind, no balls, and 2 strikes to Kyle Wish, who's trying to get through 4, scoreless, and has only allowed 1 hit. Here's that 0-2. Oh, looked like a good slider. It's taken for ball 1. You talk to the guys that watch Wish warm up. There's some alliteration for you. And they say his slider is just nasty. 1-2. Went to it there, and it dips away, ball 2. Said, that's one thing that is apparent with these Blues pitchers is the just nasty breaking stuff. And I mean nasty in the best way possible. 2-2 from Wish. Lifted out to left, but in foul ground, it'll remain 2-2. There's still no one on and 2 outs. But so Wish has got the nasty slider. Heston Toll, who we saw on this road trip, disappearing slider. Matt Sox, who we saw yesterday, awesome curveball, struck out 10 yesterday. Here's a 2-2 from Wish. Swung on and missed strike 3. And there is the nasty, despicable slider of Kyle Wish. And it's a great put-away pitch to put away Burford and put away the inning, setting the Oaks down 1-2-3 on 2 strikeouts. Give Kyle 6 on the game. He's gone through 4 scoreless. He's only given up 1 hit. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th, and we'll see if the bats can give Kyle a lead.
Every game, whether we're here or on the road, all happens at bluesbaseball.com.
It'll be Austin Shell, the man who went 4 for 4 with 4 singles yesterday, to lead us off in the bottom of the 4th. While we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues, Injectors Direct. who personally sponsor When the Blues Score, You Score. That has yet to happen today. But what that means is when the Blues score for the rest of the inning, light beer and wine is just $3 for the rest of the inning. It's a fan favorite. Hard not to be a favorite of anyone. So our thanks to Injectors Direct for personally sponsoring When the Blues Score, You Score. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be back with you for the bottom of the fourth. No score here at Sinsheimer. Here's Austin Shell, as promised, to lead us off here in the bottom of the fourth. It's Cody Adcock still out there for the Conejo Oaks out of Thousand Oaks. Strike one to Shell. Shell, one of Adcock's 6 strikeout victims on the day. Shell, who caught DH'd and now plays first base in 3 days. 0-1. Hit out and line to first. Bobo has it. Catches it on a line, and there's 1 out for Vince Martinez. That's the only hit of the day for the Blues. That was a single to lead off the second. There's 1 away now in the bottom of the fourth, and still no score. It's Adcock dealing to Martinez, who just got here from Stanford. Blues are happy to have him. Takes way inside. Did a little spin at the plate there to take ball 1. And he bats with no one on and 1 out. So Martinez and Kretschmar and Grant Burton, all teammates at Stanford. All teammates now with the Blues. 1-0 is swung on and missed for strike 1. And, the Stanford guys are here, and they're contributing for sure. Grant Burton had a 2-run bomb. It's his only hit of the season. That was in the second game against the Riptide. That was the only inning, the third inning in Wednesday's ballgame was the only inning that the Blues let in the whole week so far. And that will be grounded to the left side and foul. Count is now 1-2. Adcock, who is now through 3 1/3, trying to match Kyle Wish with 4 innings scoreless. Blues have 2 hits. Vince got the first. Cermak got the second. Stole second in the process. 1-2 to Martinez. Taken in the dirt for ball 2. So Martinez doing the DHing today. What's cool about the Blues squad, is that they've got guys that they come in bunches of 2 or 3 that all go to the same school and are now playing their summer ball together. That builds camaraderie. We mentioned that the guys that came from Illinois State, they obviously don't know the guys from Fresno State, and they don't know the guys from the USC or from Cuesta. But winning early brought them together, and it seemed like a seamless fit. It still is a seamless fit. You talk to these guys, they love each other. Here's a payoff pitch to Martinez. Swung on and missed strike 3. But I think it helps now that a team that's gone through a 3-game stretch, as rough as these last 3 have been for the Blues, that camaraderie that was built early on in the season is something that can help you get through a losing streak like this and help propel you to victories after those losses. And we'll see if the Blues are able to do so but they're facing a pitcher who's red hot right now, and Cody Hancock, who delivers the first pitch to Samuelson. That's grounded foul to the left side. Count will be 0-1 to Tate, who is 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. That strikeout of Martinez gives Hancock 7 on the day, getting him now 12 on the season. So Hancock has struck out 7. Wish has struck out 6. Hancock has given up 2 hits. Wish has given up 1. Here's Tate Samuelson at the plate. It's listing off some numbers for these pitchers that are dealing right now. And Hancock now set to deal a 0-1 to Tate Samuelson. Popped up towards the press box. Oh! Darn it! That one didn't end up in here. It is the 5th souvenir of the day, I think.
Well, thanks to Mike Smith State Farm for sponsoring our
0-2 to Samuelson. Hancock on the doorstep of his second 1-2-3 inning and a possible 8th strikeout. Here's the 0-2. It's fouled straight back. Back-to-back souvenirs, and Samuelson stays alive at an 0-2 count. There's no one on and 2 outs. We are in the bottom of the 4th. Swinging bunt to first. Bobo has it. Takes it to the bag unassisted. It is Hancock's second 1-2-3 inning. We will head to the 5th scoreless.
No score, but it's time for the busy bat race brought to you by the Wallace Group. So we have a couple of contestants. They're both 9 years old.
Early pitchers duel. We'll head to the top of the 5th and we'll see if it continues. It'll be Kyle Wish for a 5th inning of relief. Starting. Not pitching in relief today. Kyle Wish has started this ball game. He's been excellent. He's only given up the 1 hit. He struck out 6. We'll see if the sophomore from USC can keep it up when we return for the top of the 5th. Don't go anywhere. It's another good one. How often have we said that this year? I'm going to take a short break and I'll be right back with you. Wish gets Sandoval to swing and miss through the first pitch here in the top of the 5th. It is 0-0. Wish is now in his 5th inning. Starts his 5th inning. 0-1. Now 0-2. Kyle's been excellent. Getting the start here today. 0-2. Popped up. Infield will have a look. It's Mercado in shallow left calling it off and making the catch. So after a pop out of short, that'll bring JT Naviak, to the plate.
JT Naviak.
Total of 3 hits in this ball game. Both pitchers have been excellent. First pitch from Wish to Naviak. Popped up. Esperanza has a look at it. He'll make the catch. 1 pitch and 1 out. Quick 2 outs. Wish is through 4 2/3. Well, we mentioned it. You could argue Wish was the best reliever up until this point for the Blues. Miller Plyman would be the one you would also think of. Plyman, who some hitters finally got to him last night against the Saints. Error is also playing a factor in this inning. We don't need to get into it because Plyman had been perfect up until that 7th yesterday. Wish deals a 2-seamer. That breaks way inside for ball 1 against Caden Suji, the catcher. There have been a lot of good relievers for the Blues, and Wish has been one, showing now that he can start and be extremely effective. Count is 1-1 to Suji.
Wish only allowed 1 run on the entire season. That game against the Saints from the Royals second.
1-1 to Suji, already a strikeout victim of Wish on the day. Curveball breaks in there, strike 2. And it's been a combination of that sinking 2-seamer and the slider and curveball. Take your pick on what breaking pitch you want to see fall off a table and fall into the zone. Here's a 1-2 to Suji. Broken bat, and it is caught. Shell makes the catch at first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Wish. It is now back-to-back 1-2-3 innings for Kyle. He is through 5 scoreless. He's given up 1 hit. He's allowed 2 base runners. He has been flat-out awesome. Inducing the weekend has 3 pop-outs, get him to 3 outs at the top of the 5th. Can the Blues scratch? We'll see. In the bottom of the 5th,